All right, back at Castaic Lake, guys. Just launched. It's been a while since I've been out here, man. It's been, I don't know, a few weeks, because I've been up in Northern California, Lake Shasta, Lake Trinity. If you haven't seen that video, I just put up, check it out, dude. It's pretty cool, dude. The wife caught her PB, and I caught a bunch of really quality smallmouth on that trip, man. You know, 4 or 5 pounders, pretty fun. But anyway, I'm back out here. I'm gonna be getting back in the loop and get on some fish. Let's get to getting it. All right, guys, we had a lot of questions about the drop shot, how to do it. I'm just gonna explain it right now. I mean, right now I'm just attaching, I like braid. This is 10-pound braid, it casts really smooth. And this is 8-pound fluorocarbon that I'm just gonna tie on here. I use this RP knot. This is called an RP knot. I guess it's a version of the Alberto knot, or it is the Alberto knot, I don't know. But I just go down, you know, 7-8 times, I don't know. Sometimes more, depending. That's about right. I honestly don't really count anymore. This is such a good knot. Let's see, which way is this going? It's down. Make sure you come through the same way you went out. I have a video on this if you want the RP knot. That's what it is, RP knot. I'll put a link in the description or link a video up here or something. All right, so that's what it should look like at the end. Boom. Snip these tag ends off really close. Okay, boom. Tight castable knot, love it. All right, then, I mean, in terms of how much leader length, I don't know, I just do a couple arm lengths full, maybe like 3. I'm not a very big man, I'm like 5'7", so a couple arm lengths for me, might be 2 for you. 3 for me, 2 for you, or not. I use these size 1 hooks, size 1 mosquito hook right here. And this is the part, I guess, where the drop shot comes in, okay? You're gonna go ahead and, you know what? Maybe I'll set this camera up somewhere for you here, hold on. So, like, the only reason I do like the 2 arm lengths or 3 arm lengths worth of leader line, I don't know, it's just, I like to be able to, like, retie a couple times if I break off. Like, I just broke off, and I broke off a few times before that, you know, so, on a previous trip, so I just ran out of leaders, so I figured I'd shoot this video for you. So, all right, pull out, you're gonna do a Palomar knot, right? You're gonna pull out like this much line, you know, I don't know, that's 2-3 feet of line. Yeah, 2.5 feet of line. I just pull out a lot, okay? That way, and then you stick it back through like you normally would for the Palomar knot, okay? So now you got this, okay? You're gonna go ahead and take this short loop end and just cross it over. You're gonna cross it over just like that and tie an overhand knot, and then you're just left with that, okay? So now you just have this, and you're gonna have this loop hanging out. You're gonna open that loop up, you're gonna reach in, you're gonna grab that hook and pull it out. You're gonna reach down with this hand and grab this loop so it pulls above. See, I pulled it above this loop. I reach down, pull it up. At the same time, I'm kind of pulling on these lines like that. Right about here, I'm gonna get it wet. And then you're gonna pull it down and cinch that bad boy, okay? Making sure none of that loop went down below the eye of the hook. It's all above the knot like that, okay? Tighten her down, and normally on a Palomar knot you would snip off this tag end to see, but this is what's the beauty, but you have all this left over. This is where you're going to put your weight, right? So now you have your drop shot. But see how my hook's doing that? Sometimes you can get it in a right position, like if you really try with the Palomar knot, for that hook to be set upwards. It really helps with the presentation of the bait and your hookup ratio. So what you're going to do is with that hook facing down like that, you're going to stick it up through the eye of the hook like that, okay? That's just the tag end going through it again. Now look what happens, right? Now you have this kind of look. But when it's in the water, I know it doesn't look like it's sticking straight out, That doesn't matter. When it's in the water, the buoyancy of the bait, it's going to end up doing this. It's a much better presentation, and then your hook's upwards, better hookup ratio. All right, so now all you gotta do is put your drop shot weight on there, and you know, if you don't know what a drop shot weight is, these are drop shot weights. I got this on Amazon, little starter kit, and then you can fine tune, figure out what weights work good for you and your lake. I mean, I'm at Castaic. The 1/4 ounce is usually my go-to. 1/8 ounce is what a lot of people do. I get snagged sometimes, but I don't know, for some reason I'm able to follow the contour better of the bottom. I think I'm able to stay in contact a little better, especially when it's breezy out here, which it gets breezy out here in Castaic. So as far as that length, that's about, I don't know, 2 feet, a 2-foot leader or so. But that's generally what I do. Sometimes I go a little longer, sometimes shorter. It's not too precise. And then just, you know, a small lure. You can use anything. I use Keitechs, which I highly recommend. I love these little guys, but they're 3-inch. I mean, you've seen it on all my videos. These are like my favorite. These are smallmouth Magics right here, 3 inches long. But they're not the fatties, you know, they're the Swing Impact right there. That's literally what I use, and I catch tons of bass on that. But you can use little, I mean, you could put even a little grub on that, on the end of that, but usually I'll use something that imitates a shad or a small worm or something. So like, where's all my worms? These are good. These I don't know, I think Yamamoto makes these little guys. Okay, that kind of a thing. You know, even these guys, these robo worms, these guys, you all know what these are. Come on. All right, just stuff like that you put on there, and then the way you hook it, I guess I'll do that for you too, so you can see the deal. I'm putting one of these on right now. Swing Impact. Ooh, they stink too, dude. They're like squiddy, a squiddy scent. So with my hook facing up, my bait like this, okay, I just hook it right, nose hook it right through the front end of the nose, not too close to it, because you want to be able to make sure you can cast it. This is a really soft bait, and most of your finesse worms are pretty soft. So something like that, I kind of actually missed a little bit. There you go. So that's what it's going to end up being, okay? And then it's going to swim through the water really nicely. It's going to just like sit up and get its full paddle effect. But that's it, man. Now you got to just cast it out there and put it in front of a fish. Get them. Okay, so how to fish it. This is what, you know, a lot of people ask me about. It's like, okay, yeah, we got the rig now. How do you actually fish it? Do you retrieve it? Do you just like sit it out there and just let it soak and just pop it every once in a while? Well, each bait's different, but this little, you know, Keitech bait, the swim bait, it's a slow retrieve like this. This is how I get all my hookups, and then I'll like stop. And when I stop, it's usually I'm just kind of keeping in contact with the bottom. You know, I just want to make sure my weight's dropping down. I'll release the bail to make sure I'm still in, you know, contact with the bottom, because you can tell when you're not. You're like, right there, I can tell I'm not in contact. And sometimes on that drop, you know, the bait still looks like it's swimming down. So sometimes right there, boom, I'll get hit. And, you know, this method of fishing is really going to allow you to I mean, yeah, you hear it cover a lot of water. Well, this is what it's doing. I mean, if you look from the distance from shore to my boat, most people will start retrieving their lure thinking they're not going to catch a fish, like after they've only gone a 1/4 of the way. And you want to make sure that you're maximizing your chances, because you don't know where these fish are. They could be, you know, deep, and I don't have sonar. I don't have any kind of electronics, and look where I caught that fish. Really?
You know, that fish was well offshore. I was probably in like 40 feet of water. It was deep. You know, I mean, who's to say whether it was following my bait that entire time, where it was watching it from? But I know that after I released that bail,
good fish,
and I started, you know, staying in contact with the bottom again, and there was actually a drop off because it took quite a bit of line to get back in contact with the bottom. I got hooked up. So, I mean, just stay in contact with the bottom. Don't retrieve your bait too early. Really maximize your chances by doing that slow retrieve and, you know, making sure you're in contact with the bottom. And you know, this is a good way to find out where the fish are, you know. And then on this trip, you know, I mean, I caught several more fish in deep water. So, you know, it surprised me at first, but then I was like, okay, it's hot out, they're just down.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, thanks for playing. Thank you for playing. I appreciate that. As always. Thanks, buddy. There she is. Sorry, dude. Jeez. We got him. Nice. That's a good bass. All right. Deeper, man. Way deeper. Okay. Later. I just let this part play because it's kind of just like a perfect example of check your line after every fish. You know, especially if it was a good fight, and especially if you knew you were dragging up against rocks and stuff, because, you know, you just never know. This thing could just snap, and then you get that big one, and, oh, break off. So that's just, I mean, you fall victim to that more than you think, you know. Oh, I broke off, but it's really because you just had damage on there. So anyway, here's another example of some drop shotting off this point out here. It just looks super fishy. I stopped that. It's like the first stop in the morning, and I started with the drop shot. And I'm just taking this time to adjust the trolling motor and like let my bait sink to the bottom. I'm now on the bottom and I'm touching it. I'm just like dragging it along the contour. I can feel it. That's why I'm not reeling too much. Like I was feeling it kind of dragging and dropping down the slope of the bank. And you know, it's important to have this soft tip. You know, like you'll see I'll get bit. Watch the tip of my rod right here. You can tell when you get bit. And that soft tip's important because they don't drop the bait. See right there, I'm bit. You can tell. And now, bam, set that hook. Some people set the hook on it. Some people just kind of like lean on, you know, pull up on it slowly. I don't know. I set hooks. There's an early morning biter. He's digging on me. Hey, dude. Yeah. Come here. Come here. All right. We gotcha. Where'd you get there? We got you, bro. That's a healthy bass, man. Yeah, early morning. Second cast, man. Love it. Just want to take this time, you guys, to thank you for, you know, watching my videos. It's been fun making all these for you guys and for myself and for my memories, you know. But if you haven't, you know, subscribed and liked some of these videos and leave some comments, please do so, you know. Turn on the notifications and, you know, I'll see you out there on the water.